Greetings from Steamboat Lake, Colorado. It's Labor Day weekend. It's Sunday the 1st. And I just want to take a little bit of time out. There's so much happening that I didn't want to wait until the end of the weekend and just to make this and get it up on online for you. I want to share what's going on with Rippln. There's a lot of big stuff. I'm Alan Sills, and this is probably one of the most exciting projects I've ever been involved in, ventures I've ever been involved in. I've got notes here, so forgive me as I refer to my notes and share things with you, because I don't want you to miss a beat of what's going on. First of all, I want to quote the CEO of Rippln from a call that he made to players. And if you are a player in Rippln, just reach out to me and I'll get you a link to this call. You can hear it directly. He says September is going to be a knockout month for a lot of you. September is going to be a knockout month for a lot of you. That's a big deal. He delivered a state of play message which revealed the playbook for September. So allow me to kind of recap where we are and bring you where we're going, because Rippln is very much in a proof of performance phase. They are in a delivery phase. They're showing what they're made of. They're showing how this thing is going to grow from the 1.3 million that it is now, literally by tens of millions, probably this fall and into the spring, and then who knows how far from there. I've said before, and I stand by it, that this thing will grow to 1 billion plus, and those who are players in it, well, you'll be set for life. So, first of all, the game that is going to live on your smartphone called Photo Guessaroo has been approved by the Apple Store. So this is not something that's coming out of nowhere and people are saying, where are we ever going to get it? It's in the Apple Store. Now, it's currently in beta. So while you may be able to see it elsewhere in the world, you can only download it if you have a Apple App Store account that is tied in with Australia or New Zealand. I do not recommend that if you're not in Australia or New Zealand that you try and circumvent that process. It's just going to create a lot of heartache, and you're going to find out in a moment that it's not going to be a big deal before we are able to access Photo Guessaroo very, very quickly. So the fact that it's been approved by the Apple Store, the Apple App Store, and I've got a link to show you that, that's a big deal. That shows to me tremendous credibility. The fact that they have it out in beta shows tremendous credibility. They also released a video that shows the Communicator app, details on it, and screenshots. And again, I've got a link for you on that. So that's something that you absolutely want to avail yourself to. It'll take you about 20 or 25 minutes to kind of review what it is. I'm excited. I think that this Communicator app is going to be phenomenal, and you'll find out in a moment when it's going to be available. Now, if you are a player already in Rippln, then the first payout for coaching rewards, which not many people were involved in the coaching, was last week. For most of us that are involved in what will be called loyalty rewards, we will see our payout on September 15. And that payout is going to come by something called GPG Gateway. All right, try and say that 10 times fast. You go to your play tab inside startmyripple.com, and you will see that there's an account that you'll do a few things to get it set up. Once the payment is there, and you will be able to transfer that by direct deposit to your bank, or you'll be able to do a few other things with it. You might be able to put it on a debit card. I'm not sure the details on that yet, but the company GPG Gateway, I looked them up. They seem to be a legitimate company, and they are a legitimate company, and it seems that they'll be fine for us to use. There isn't going to be a debit card for Rippln. This is an easier system to use and something that's going to be more effective for more people worldwide. Now, here's what's coming. And again, I'm recording this on September 1st, so this is the playbook for September. And I'm giving you the highlights. I mean, again, if you're a player and you want to get the blow-by-blow from Brian, by all means, just contact me, and I will get you the link to his audio where he details all of this. On or about September 7th will be a full release of Photo Guessaroo. And you see, that's going to be a paradigm shift, because no longer are you going to have to go to people and say something like, I'd like to introduce you to Rippln, or hey, are you Rippln yet, or have you heard of Rippln, and then put them into a promotional page like I have my at alansills.com/intro, a 3-minute promotional video. You can still do that, but if it were me, once I have that game, I'm just going to invite people to play the game. Hey, here's a picture. Would you like to guess what it is. That's how Photo Guesseroo works, at least my limited understanding of it. And what that means is anybody who plays the game with you, anyone who, you give them the link and then they register or whatever they're going to do to play the game, they're being added to your Ripple. That's a big deal, folks. They're being added to your Ripple. It's a very, very soft form of referring people or involving people in Rippln. And of course, they have the right to never log in and ignore everything that comes their way, but they're going to be missing something that, frankly, I think will be as big as Amazon and Facebook. As you've heard me say, when Amazon meets Facebook and lives on your smartphone, you've got Rippln. All right. A few days later, a few days after September 7, you're going to start hearing about something called the Ultimate Game of Life and an MVP season pass, if you will, that'll be good for an entire year. Now, I'm not going to reveal any more than I know about that. Again, if you're a player, you can listen to Brian's detail. But I'll tell you this, the Ultimate Game of Life sounds pretty exciting to me, and it sounds like a pretty cool thing, and it sounds like something you're going to want to be involved in. And this MVP pass that's going to be good for an entire year is going to be worth its weight in gold. So I'm just going to leave it at that. You're going to hear about that a few days after Photo Guesseroo gets released. Now, around the third week, this is all in September, around the third week of September, Rippln is going to be revealing details regarding the app partnerships that they've generated and other business relationships that are in the works. So you're going to get a bigger picture of exactly how big this thing is going to be. And remember, the middle of September, if you're a player, you're going to get your first paycheck. That's based on July and August players that are in your team. All right. The Communicator app is going to be released, I promised you, I tell you, later in autumn. Notice my wording, autumn. Autumn begins September 21 and give or take a day, and ends December 21. So it'll be released during autumn. I'm not going to get any more specific than that. If you're a player and you want to know what's going on, message me. I'll get you the direct link to the CEO, and you can listen to him. He's a little more specific than that. My advice to you now it's up to you. You can be a part of Rippln and watch all this happen as a fan, or you can be a player, just like being a player in life. There are a lot of people right now that are sitting on the sidelines and are saying, I don't know. I don't know if this thing is real. I don't know if I should do it. Well, you see what they're releasing. You see what they've done. There's proof in performance. Real companies can use the Apple App Store. I mean, the Apple App Store, they review a company, they look into what it is, they look into what the app is before they approve it. They don't just throw any old thing in there. So that, to me, as I said before, is a note of credibility. The fact that Rippln has released the app and it's available, the Photo Guesseroo, in New Zealand and Australia, that's a mark of credibility. When they come out around September 7 and release the game worldwide, that's a big deal. It's a paradigm shift, as I explained. And if I can get big picture, I've read and I know that 4 out of 5 Americans, just speaking to Americans, and I know the rest of the world's no better off, they're probably worse off than we are. 4 out of 5 Americans are worried about being in poverty or at the poverty line right now. So what are you doing about that? Are you going to be like these people who are working for Burger King or McDonald's and say, I want $15 an hour, which you and I both know is never going to happen. I mean, if they want to be able to offer a Big Mac for, I don't know what they are, $5, $6, $7, they can't pay their people $15 an hour. So people working there aren't going to get that. So my advice to them, to you, to all of us is, if you don't like what your bottom line is, if you don't like what the check is that you're taking home, and if you want residual income and you want leverage, then what you want to do is you want to engage with Rippln right now. If you're a fan, you do know that you can build your Ripple. You can grow your Ripple even as a fan, so that's free. Now, if you opt to become a player, you're putting yourself into a position, you're positioning yourself so that you can move forward and you can profit with us, earning both residual income, that means do something once and get paid over and over and over again for it, and leverage. That means that as you grow your Ripple and you find others in your Ripple who wish to player up, you find others in your Ripple who like an offer. Maybe it's going to be a smartwatch coming out. That's coming out soon. Maybe it's going to be something else that comes out later this month or next month or the month after. Whatever it is, when people do what people do, and that is people spend money online, you as a player are going to profit. Oh, and this is big. This is very big. One of the things that the CEO mentioned is that these games and apps are going to have advertising on them. I mean, look at any app that you have on your phone that maybe isn't a premium app that you're getting for free. One of the things that's on that app is advertising. All right, something people can click in order to, go and look at whatever. And most of us ignore most of it. But you know what? That advertising adds up to tens of millions of dollars, if not more, for the app developer. So what is Rippln going to do? Rippln is going to include the players in profiting in the revenue for those apps. Now tell me that's not cool. Tell me that's not powerful. So if the only thing that you did was you took action and you became a player and you sat back and watched some money come in, I don't know how much. It's going to be dependent on how big your Ripple is. But even if you're just a player with nobody in your Ripple, there will be something that can be earned through that advertising. I believe that's my understanding. So, Alan Sills here. You have a great day. If you're seeing this on a holiday weekend, if I even get it up on the holiday weekend, up online, fine. If I don't, you'll see it soon enough. And you can reach out to me. I'm going to give you my phone number so you can reach me. 561, that's in the United States, so it's 1-561-676-1205. And it's a Florida number, but I can most completely assure you, take a look behind me, I'm not in Florida. I'm in the Intermountain West. At the moment, I'm in Colorado. By the time you see this, I may be in Wyoming and God knows where else. I'm in the Mountain Time Zone. For those who are GMT oriented, that's GMT -7, but you can then add 1 because we're on daylight time. All right. Thanks much. You have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whenever it is you see this. Take care.